Buthelezi, please come on board. Thank you very much.
Long ago, people who sacrificed their sleep, forgot their families, forgot their food, forgot laughter, were called saints. Nowadays, they are called entrepreneurs. Program director, it's a thankless job for many of us in this endeavor, especially for the people that have been honored today. It's not an easy road. It's not good to know that when you start on any road, you have a high probability of not making it past the first 2 years of what you're trying to do. Before I begin my address in earnest, I'd like to convey an apology, as Program Director has already stated. Comrade Dorothy Mahlangu, the MEC for Economic Development in Gauteng, is not able to join us. I know you expected somebody more good-looking, and when you were told that it's a Buthelezi, so you expected somebody who delivered the longest speech and has an entry in the Guinness Book of Records for the longest speech ever, running into days. My name is Sicelo, Harvey Buthelezi. Harvey is my school name, and that has followed me through university and professional life. The Department of Economic Development under the stewardship of MEC Mahlangu aims to lead, facilitate, and manage sustainable job creation and inclusive economic development in the Gauteng city region. Now, this entails, amongst others, mobilizing stakeholders such as yourselves to partner for economic development, as well as creating an enabling environment for SMMEs. As such, the department would like to position itself as a partner and a champion for SME development. And to that end, we have a strategy, among others, for SME development. Nearly a decade ago, some of you might have more statistics, 54% of all private sector employment came from the SME sector. Small and medium firms, they accounted for 28.6% and 41.7% accounted for all employment in the private sector. Thank you. The sector, therefore, plays an important role in creating jobs, more than the rand spent on the big businesses. According to the Small Business Survey by FinScope, the extension of credit to small business remains extremely low, and part of the problems in the informal small business sector is the lack of quality documentation, lack of fixed income, customer uncertainty, not having financial records, or poor measurement and forecasting. Now, most of these can be sorted out by appropriate training, and this can also help the assessment of risk and proper adjudication of credit applications. Now, the Department of Economic Development has put in place an SMME policy framework, which has culminated in a strategy for SMMEs. It is the vision of Gauteng that SMMEs located in the province will be empowered to compete successfully in provincial, national, as well as international markets, while providing a diverse range of new and lasting employment opportunities across gender, race, and cultural divides. It is not my intention tonight to overwhelm the meeting with the vast text of the Gauteng SMME development strategy, but I'd like to mention some of the few pillars underpinning this strategy. Now, I was concerned coming in knowing it's a Friday night, and I wondered what entrepreneurs do on a Friday night nowadays. But I took heart by the comment, in the comment by the program director, that there's an adversity towards liquor. So I'm not exactly going to be sworn at. Yeah. The first objective is to ensure that national and provincial, district and local actors in the private sectors, they work in collaboration with government towards an integrated and coordinated strategy. Now, this is consistent with the ruling party's developmental state agenda, where the government acts as a key player in setting the agenda, but it galvanizes the support for economic development. Now, developmental states, as some people understand, they are not necessarily concerned with underdeveloped countries, but developed countries, many of them are actually developmental states, like Germany, the Emirates, and France, where various players, different power blocks came together, agreed on one agenda. They pulled resources together. The second objective is to provide SMME development services that are sustainable, business-like, and equitable and responsive to the demands of SMMEs. Now, the intention of this is to ensure that financial and business development services in Gauteng respond to the needs of SMMEs. The third objective is to improve the competitiveness of Gauteng business environment. So doing business in Gauteng has to be of a lower cost and also amenable to enterprise. The fourth objective is to promote entrepreneurship, innovation, technology transfer in the sector. We're all very aware that SMMEs need both funding opportunities and skills. But small businesses still do very little by way of new innovation and product development, which means that we are not a knowledge-based economy. I had a discussion with the doctor who sat next to me here, lamenting the fact that we are not even selling to our African partners. And the main reason for that is that what we do make in South Africa does not belong to South Africans. The patents don't belong to South Africans. Even though we make BMWs in Pretoria, but BMW can sell directly to other countries their product. So innovation plays an important role if a country needs to be knowledge-based and be able to replicate the effort rather than going through the same cycle of reinventing the wheel. The fifth objective is to ensure growth of the provincial SMME sector, its contribution to provincial, local, and national developmental goals, and that it is monitored against agreed benchmarks and targets. Many of you who are involved in the SMME development endeavor know that there's a scarcity or paucity of information. We don't have a handle on the number of SMMEs, and it's very difficult to report on them accurately. So we try to do that as a government. The SMME development strategy is not the only one that the DED has. There are several other strategies of the DED which may be of interest. We have a Gauteng employment growth and development strategy. I brought a copy, 2 copies of each one for your management. And if more are needed, at least they'll know how to ask for them. The Gauteng industrial policy, strategy for broad-based black economic empowerment, and the Gauteng youth employment strategy for those of us who are risk averse. It's been said in various ways that SMMEs seldom survive the first 2 years of operation. Honored guests, it's indeed been an honor to come and witness the work that's being done here. One of the most unusual occurrences where people have survived the first 18 months or 2 years since inception. And what struck me is the amount of money that's involved. Usually, a lot more money gets invested in SMMEs by ourselves sometimes as government and GEP, but people do not necessarily survive because of the sums of money. So it means that the skills development component is viable and dependable, and it's something that many others like ourselves can emulate. I see Sanzaf understands the risk-return equation well. Banks don't generally bank SMMEs, but you do, and with great results, because also your conscience is with this sector. I commend you. On behalf of the MEC of Economic Development, I also thank you for being a stakeholder and a very dedicated player and partner in this endeavor for the Gauteng province. And especially the SMMEs themselves, the entrepreneurs that are being honored today. We wish them the best. I also thank people like me who are invited guests, captains of industry, and everyone, the community, everyone present here who came here to witness this great success and to encourage Sanzaf to continue doing the great work. It is a Friday afternoon, so I shall stop there. Thank you for having me.
I was very lucky that it's important that you buy an appropriate gift. And in our days today, when we know that things happen last minute, if we had to go something very feminine, then it may not have been appropriate. We may just have been giving another message. Anyway, so we've put together a two-part gift for yourself, and you'll convey one gift, which I'm given to understand. A little birdie told me that it's the MEC's birthday tomorrow. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. So I'm going to make your life a bit easy so you can get some brownie points. Get some brownie points from us. So we've got a small scarf for the MEC. But appropriate to the occasion, who we are, what we represent, there's a book that was published, textbook more than anything else. It was published in the UK 2-3 years ago. It's called Islamic Banking and Finance: What It Is and What It Could Be. And partly why I'm happy to give you this, besides the fact that it deals with your field in the greater scheme of things, there's an article, although published in the UK, there's an article that makes reference to South African National Zakah Fund in particular, under the issue of zakah. And this is not the first time that SANZF has been recognized or quoted or researched. It's happened more than one time. And for some of you who may have been guests before in other occasions, you would have heard Professor Adam Habib about 4 years ago also making reference to the fact that SANZF was accessible and easy for research and for using it for the book that they published, Giving in South Africa, Giving in Solidarity in South Africa. So on behalf of the South African National Zakah Fund and all our guests here, please accept this. And one more small gift, if I can. I've had the occasion, and I'm sure many of us know this, of using this venue from the extreme right to the extreme left, probably 5 times in a year, every year for the past 7 years. And you pass the name and you read Suleiman Nana and you read other names that are here, and you don't really give second thought to the legacy that they left behind. What a wonderful legacy that they have left behind in terms of this community center and in terms of who he is and who he was. At the age of 39, I think he passed away, a very, very young man in the 1940s, at the age of 39, an activist par excellence. Your age, an activist par excellence. But the impression he left on the community has outlived him many fold. And there's a small book written on the life of Suleiman Nana, which I'm going to give you as a gift, hopefully to inspire you, because he was your age, to say how much more you should have achieved by now. But it's actually a call to all of us sitting around. What's your legacy? And Stephen Covey puts it beautifully. You're laying there wrapped up in your coffin, and what are the people around you whispering? And what would you like the people around you to whisper? What a wonderful image to think about. What a wonderful motivation, besides pleasing your God and your Creator. What a wonderful motivation for us to leave a legacy that we've done right by humanity and by people. Thank you very much, Mr.